My name is Robert Sopuck, and I'm a biologist, retired member of Parliament, and author. I live with my wife Caroline on the south side of Riding Mountain National Park in western Manitoba. In this series, I'm going to share my way of life with you, a life that is simple, wonderful, and profound. This is a life outdoors. One of the things about Manitoba is the very distinctive seasons. Right now, it's wintertime with all its harsh beauty. But unlike the bears, we don't hibernate. And as you are about to find out, it's much busier than you might imagine. Caroline and I own 300 acres of beautiful woodlands, so it's natural that heating with wood is a big part of our way of life. Well, Caroline, here we are back at that forest that we cut in 1987. Remember
Yes.
that?
Yeah, I sure do.
Isn't it amazing how the forest has come back?
Yeah, it's remarkable, really.
Yeah, it truly is. And so the essence of sustainability, we harvested this, holy smokes, 40 some years ago.
Yeah.
Now we can go back and harvest it again. Sustainability in action.
Oh, for sure.
This is a really cool stump. It may look just like a bunch of rotten wood, and which is what it is now, eh, Caroline?
Yeah.
But you can see the sharp cut here. And we cut this tree down in 1987. And so for 35 years, this stump has been decaying into the forest floor. But what's really interesting is how this new tree has come up beside it. This tree is probably a clone of this tree and grew up from the roots of the tree that we cut. So we know for a fact this tree is 35 years old and is just the ideal size for firewood. Good old safety glasses. I normally would wear earmuffs too, but these electric chainsaws are pretty quiet, so I don't really need to. But a gas saw, you would really want to use a pretty good set of earmuffs. And now the next phase of wood cutting, this is where the teamwork comes in. Now that the trees are cut into, this tree is cut into stove lengths, Caroline will come and flip the logs over on the end, and I'll follow her with the axe and split them. And now we will come back in spring, bring this tree into the yard. It'll dry all summer long, and these logs will warm our house and cook our food next winter. One of the things that I love to do on our farm is to cook bannock, which is traditional Inuit flat bread. During my research as a fisheries biologist, I spent time in the Canadian Arctic. This is where I learned to make bannock from the Inuit people who I worked with there. We make our bannock on our wood stove, and you can see the wood stove is going, the frying pan's getting hot. This is wood that we harvest on our own farm. Now, let's have a look at how this traditional bannock is made. To make bannock, you need flour, salt, baking powder, and water. I never measure my ingredients. I do this all by instinct. But for those who want specifics, I'll post a recipe as soon as I'm done here. The next ingredient that I love to use, and this comes from our land as well, this is bear fat. This is from a bear that was harvested in the fall. And in the fall, bears are absolutely covered in fat. In fact, when you skin a fall bear, it's as white could be. The fat is that thick. So we harvested this bear, took all the fat off, rendered it down, and we love to cook with bear fat. And we very much thank the bears, and I mean that very sincerely, for what they give to us. Okay, I think we're ready. So the next step is pretty critical. So it's what you got to do, you got to learn how to flip it, and 1, 2, 3. Yes, we did it. So you can see the first thing you do, you flip your bannock, you see what it looks like on the bottom, it's got a nice crust, and you spin it immediately. What that does, it distributes the lard or fat around so the bannock doesn't stick. One of the beautiful things about a wood stove, in fact, no other stove has this characteristic, electric, gas, I don't care what it is that as you move the frying pan away from the firebox, you get a perfect gradation of heat, all the way from something that can cook an egg, fry a steak, make a bannock, or all the way here that you can use just to warm a plate. I remember when I was living with the Inuit, we were making bannock over Coleman stoves in the Arctic, and the principles are exactly the same, but when you're in a tent in the Arctic in an Arctic gale, there's nothing better than a cup of hot tea and a hot, fresh bannock. In my case, we would often have fresh Arctic char on that particular field trip with our bannock and tea. In fact, it was one time I was up there for 3 weeks with another Inuit fellow, and for 3 straight weeks we ate nothing but char, bannock, and tea. And you know what? I never got tired of it. Let's have a look to see how well we did. So you give it a good cut up the middle. And what I'd like to do is make little wedges, kind of like a pizza, actually. And this is the way people seem to like it. Chop it up. And you can see in the middle, yep, it's cooked right through. Fish is a very important part of our diet out here, but we especially enjoy winter-caught pike. Today, I've met up with my good friend, colleague, and fellow fisheries biologist, Mike Alperin, to see if we can harvest one of these beautiful pike. Mike uses a device called a flasher to measure the water's depth and, most importantly, to detect any nearby fish.
So it's 6.2 feet.
And that's from the bottom of the ice?
That's right.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So should be a good place to fish.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. This is where we had some pretty good luck last time. With the ice holes drilled, we set up the tent within which I will fish with spoons and jigs, and Mike rigs up his tip-ups with bait.
Okay. So when this flag goes up, we'll know we have a fish on.
What causes the flag to go up?
Right.
The fish pulls it, and then
So the fish will pull this. They'll turn the spinner.
I see. Okay.
Just like that.
Cool.
Yeah.
I have also set up my underwater camera, which will provide a unique view under the ice. Got the camera on, and I got it pointed in the right direction, so we'll drop our Williams wobbler down, and it should show up on the camera. There it is. And the idea is to have this flutter and attract the pike. The minutes tick by, no luck yet. When you're angling, ice fishing, or open water, the watchword is patience. Then, okay, there's a pike. Nice pike. Look at that. Please bite. Oh, look at that. Wow, I should be back. Let's see if I can bring him back. Oh, there it is. Oh, beautiful fish. Here it comes. Gotta be really careful about bonking the pike. You don't want to do that, so you gotta be, okay. I switch up my lure to see if I can entice the fish to strike, but without any luck. I hear a shout from Mike. One of his tip-ups has a fish.
Looks like it's going for a run. This one got off. This one got off, Bob.
Then, a short while later,
Oh. No! Oh, no, no, it's still on. Yeah.
need the gaff?
It might be already up the hole.
Nicely done!
There we go. That's a good looking pike.
That is a wonderful pike.
We did it.
Well done, Mike, we did it! We got
We
supper!
got supper.
Nicely done, the tip up. I've never used a tip up before. I think I'm going to start. What a beautiful pike. Lift them up again, let's have a look at it. I often reflect on the winter months and how we spend that time here on our farm. Certainly, winters are long and considerably hard on the prairies, but it's also a time to embrace the unique activities that this season has to offer. The countryside is stark, yet beautiful. The days are short, yet full. While some folks head south to avoid this season, I'm happy to stay right where I am and enjoy my life outdoors.